Your move, your move.
What's up guys, it's Rogue here and welcome to another amazing video on the channel. So it is a Friday, that means we got a video, and for today we have a brand new updated Dark World deck profile. Now whenever I do a Dark World deck profile, I get thousands of views and hundreds of comments, which is amazing. You guys are such a active and big community. Dark World duelists do stick together and they give me tons of great advice via the comments on how to make the deck even better, and that is what I have done today. And since it is a brand new month, 1st of August, we have a brand new giveaway. So all you need to do to enter this giveaway, leave a comment down below. What is your favorite card shown in this video and why? And obviously, you need to be a subscriber because I'm going to be giving away this to the subscribers. It is a 25th anniversary Spell Rulers sealed Yu-Gi-Oh! Booster box, retailing for around £100. So make sure you do get entered. It takes about 3 seconds to enter and can give you about £100. So seems pretty worth it to me. I know I'm a generous guy. Make sure you subscribe because we're on the way to 5K before the end of the year. We're about 4.5K now. Super grateful to all of you guys. But let's smash that objective. Anyway, I've blabbered on long enough. You've seen enough of my beautiful beard. Let's get on to the Dark World deck profile. Get ready because it's going to get pretty crazy. Okay, so starting off with this Dark World deck profile, we have triple of the Rainbow Overking of Dark World. Now, he's a fantastic card. If you don't know what Dark Worlds do, on discard, they all have a different effect. And if they are discarded by an opponent, they get like a bonus effect. So, what does Rainbow do? Well, he's actually able to grab any level 5 or higher Dark World monster from your deck. You may think, wow, you know, that's not that great. Most of the Dark Worlds lack once per turns, which is where you can actually get to really cool loops, and you can just keep adding cards from deck to hand. This is why I say Droll is the biggest weakness of this deck. This deck in a good hand, or like a good hand, can play through 2-3 hand traps no problem. It can't play through Droll. You get Drolled and your turn ends. It's absolutely crippling to this deck. But Rainbow's a fantastic card. When he's in the graveyard, he can also bounce a Dark World to the hand to special summon himself. That doesn't activate, so even under Dweller, you could have done that as well. And his bonus effect is if he is discarded by an opponent, not only do you get the search, but then you can special a level 4 or lower Dark World monster from your deck or graveyard to either field. So I play 3 of him because he is absolutely fantastic. I play Double Graph. He is good like Rainbow. It's just when he's discarded, his effect isn't as good. His effect is when he is discarded, you target one card your opponent controls and destroy it. So this is good if you give your opponent monsters, which you do with this deck, because you want to give your opponent monsters that trigger discards to gain the bonus effects. If he's discarded by an opponent, you can look at one random card in your opponent's hand. If it was a monster, special it to your field. So you can potentially loop them for 1 while summoning an extra body to your field. For a 3-of, I have Triple Snow. This doesn't change. Snow, when discarded, adds any Dark World card from your deck to hand. It's absolutely insane. If it's discarded by an opponent's card, you can then target, I believe, any monster they have in their grave and special it to your field in defense. So Snow is incredible, just a rotor for the deck. Every time she is discarded, grab any Dark World card, which is fantastic. A card that I've bumped down from 3 to 2, we have Double Genta, Gateman of the Dark World, just because this deck has the ability to bounce back Dark World monsters from the field back to the hand. You can use one Genta and cycle multiple of the field spell because of his effect in hand not being once per turn. So you discard him, add 1 gate to the Dark World from your deck to your hand. That's absolutely incredible. If you don't know what Gates does, I'll explain to you when we get there. If this card is banished and you control a Dark World card, you can special summon this card. So that is a once per turn in terms of you can only special a Genta once per turn, so you can activate that as many times as you want if your opponent keeps negating the summon. But once you do summon Genta, you can't summon more than 1 that turn, but you can discard it from hand to grab multiple gates of the Dark World. That you can do. We have double silver and 1 Ceruli. People don't like that I play 1 Ceruli. I think 1 Ceruli is perfectly fine with the 2 silver. Bestials at the moment aren't too prevalent. Malice is still around. This is being recorded. Actually, it's being recorded on July 30th, so we're still early. This is coming out in August, should be the first upload of August, but just do keep the date in mind when you do see this deck profile, be it in a couple of months or so. So Silver, when discarded, special summons itself. If it's discarded by your opponent, not only does it special itself, but it hand loops for 2. This is how we hand loop our opponent for 4 cards. So we loop Silver twice. And the more consistent way of doing that is with Ceruli, because if Ceruli is discarded to the graveyard, you special it to your opponent's field, and then if this card is special by the effect of Dark World card, your opponent discards 1, and your opponent is actually you because you summoned it to your opponent's side of the field. So Ceruli, pitch Silver, Silver summon, loop for 2. Absolutely incredible interaction that is. And then if you place them in the correct zones, you can make an Akashic Magician, bounce back Ceruli and Silver, and then do it again and hand loop them for 4 cards, which is disgusting that you can do that with Dark Worlds. I hate that Dark Worlds do that, but you know, it does win you games, and this is trying to be a competitive deck profile, so we play the best variant, which is the hand loop variant. For the spells, triple the Gates of Dark World. Fantastic card. Once per turn, banish a fiend from your grave, discard a fiend, draw a card. So this triggers Genta to summon, triggers any of your Dark Worlds because you discard not by cost, by the way. It has to be via an effect. If you discard for cost, none of your Dark Worlds trigger. It needs to be by an effect. It's just how they work. And again, this is a once per copy because it's a Dark World card and they didn't know what once per turn was back then. So absolutely incredible. We have the newer pieces of support, so double Dark Corridor. The reason I only play 2 is because this is actually a hard once per turn. And all it does is it adds a Dark World monster from your deck to your hand, and then you discard a card. You can discard the card you added, so you can go Dark Corridor, pick up Snow, discard Snow, Snow Search, or you can just do Dark Corridor, pick up Rainbow, Rainbow, discard, and again Search. So lots of searching, lots of drawing in this deck. The reason you go for Dark Corridor to Snow most of the time is because Snow can pick up the spells as well. So Snow can pick up stuff like Dark World Ascension. Whereas Dark Corridor is only limited to monsters, but it's still a fantastic card. Dark World Ascension, what is it? Busted fusion spell. This is absolutely incredible if you guys don't know what it does. So it's a quick play during the main phase. Fusion summon a Fiend Fusion from the extra deck. Doesn't have to be Dark World, by the way. It can be any. By banishing materials mentioned from the field or grave, if fusion summoning a Dark World monster, you can also discard monsters as material, which is incredible because you can go fusion, use materials from hand, but it counts as them being discarded. So discard stuff like Grapha and get extra pops as well. If this card is in the grave, discard 1 Dark World monster and add this back to the hand. Insane. I love this card. It's so good. You only need 1. If it's sent to the grave, you can just add it back. It's absolutely incredible. So this is it for the Dark World part of the deck. Everything else are the supporting engines. This is the ratios I've gone with. As I said in the beginning, you guys are super active. Every time I put one of these Dark World videos, you update me on ratios. You basically tell me about new cards I didn't have before. This is, I believe, the best version, well, the best deck profile I've done of Dark World for sure, but the best ratios to be playing at the moment. Arguably, you can play more than one Ceruli if you do fear stuff like DD Crow or Bestials. I don't, so I'm only playing 1. So that is it. Let's go on to the supporting engines. Let me just put the Dark World cards to one side. And I really do love how they're all off the colors. Stuff like Grapha has black in the back. Stuff like Rainbow at an angle has multiple colors. I really do like that they're based off colors. For the supporting engine, we got the Dangers. I still play them, and I don't see any reason why you wouldn't. Triple Nessie, double Moth, 1 Bigfoot, 1 Chupacabra, 1 Tsuchinoko, and 1 Jackalope. These are the ratios. I have changed it. I no longer play Thunderbird. I think Thunderbird was the worst one that I was playing, so I cut it. I still play the Bigfoot. Some people don't like it. It's a level 8. Just keep that in mind. It is like Thunderbird, except it comes up more often because Bigfoot can blow up stuff like the monsters you give to your opponent's side of the field. Nessie's at 3 because when discarded, it adds any danger. If you don't know what the dangers do, they reveal in your hand, then unreveal themselves, and your opponent picks a card at random in your hand to discard. If it's not the danger, they summon and draw. And if they're discarded, they have different effects. So Nessie grabs a danger, Mothman makes you both players draw and discard a card, Bigfoot destroys a face-up card on the field, well, a monster, Chupacabra specials a danger from the grave, Tsuchinoko specials itself, so it really doesn't matter if it's discarded, and Jackalope specials a danger out of the deck. These are amazing. Some people, I guess you could cut Bigfoot, play another copy of Tsuchinoko or Jackalope. I'm very happy with these ratios. I think they're good. We play 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 dangers. I think that is more than enough. I think this is the 9 or 10 is usually the sweet spot for dangers. And their reveal and draw effects aren't once per turn either, which is sort of sticking with the Dark World theme. For the new card, double bow, the Dawn's Light. This card is so good for Fiend and Fairy decks. I don't think people are talking about this card enough. So monsters in your leftmost or rightmost main monster zones cannot be destroyed by card effects. This comes up more in like BA. Doesn't really come up too much in this one. However, it can special itself from the hand by targeting a Fiend monster you control, negating its effects, and then it just specials itself for free as a Fiend. If this card is sent to the graveyard, so via discard, via link-off plays, whatever, you can add one Mutiny in the Sky from your deck to your hand. What is Mutiny in the Sky? That is a fusion spell. So this card is incredible. I absolutely love this card. Alongside Bow, I still play the Gen and Ken package. A lot of people are like, no, that's bad. Don't play it. Look, guys, I understand that you guys don't like the Gen and Ken package. I do. I think a lot of people aren't really... Well, they are playing Ash, so you can get Ashed. But stuff like Imperm, Veilers, they're not that prevalent at the moment. So really, it's only Ash or Bust or like Dominus Purge. And I think Gen and Ken are... if you get these to resolve, you like win the game. Gen summons Ken. Ken makes you draw 2 and discard 1 in a deck that loves being discarded. Gen, if you summon it to your opponent's field, what you can do is you just make them discard a card. So what you can do is do the full combo, then during your opponent's turn, use the Abu Aku to reborn the Ken special again from your deck, and make them loop for the last card in their hand. Absolutely incredible. I really, really love that interaction. And for more power one-offs, we have one Diabolica, the General, and one Salamander Catalyzer. Shout out to the person, I forgot your name, who mentioned this card in my last profile. I gave it a read. I'm like, yeah, 100% I should be playing this card. And one Salamander. So Diabolica specials herself from the hand or graveyard if a Fiend monster is sent to the graveyard via card effect. And if itself is sent to the graveyard by card effect, you can target a Fiend in your grave and add it to the hand. And it's a level 8. So it's absolutely incredible. I love it. You need to play 1. And Salamander is, again, you reveal this card and a Fiend in your hand, special 1 and discard the other. So it triggers all of your stuff, basically. And when a Fiend or when a monster is destroyed in battle involving your Fiend monster, while this card is in the grave, you can add this back to your hand. So a bit of recursion there. These cards provide some recursion. Bow provides a fusion spell, and the Gen and Ken are just really good payoffs if they resolve. So really happy with these supporting monsters. And now we got the spells. So we have one Call by the Grave to stop draw, or at least attempt to. One Triple Attack to loop for your opponent's last card in hand. There's sometimes, because remember, they will trigger the Triple Tactics talent with stuff like the Gen and Ken combo or some of the Dark Worlds, so you can look at their hand and loop them. One Instant Fusion as another attempt to block Drone and Lockbird. We do play the Millennium Eyes in the extra deck, so just keep that in mind. One Mutiny in the Sky as the target for your monster, and it's absolutely a really cool card because you can fusion a Fiend or Fairy by shuffling monsters from your graveyard back into the deck. So you recycle while getting a fusion onto the field. And then if this card is in your grave, send a Fiend or Fairy from your hand or face up field to the grave. Add this card to the hand. Such a fantastic card. And then, of course, one Card Destruction as the 40th card. If you resolve Card Destruction with a handful of Dark Worlds, GG's, you win. Both players discard as many cards as possible from their hands, and then each player draws the same number of cards they discarded. So you just win the game on the spot. It's so, so cool. But that is it for the main deck. Let's now go on into the extra deck. Going on into the extra deck, and I apologize for the different color sleeves. Literally, I recorded a mail day package and I realized, oh, I don't have a video for tomorrow and it's the 1st of the month. I need to do the giveaway video. I need to do Dark Worlds, so I haven't really had time to sleeve everything up properly, just the main. We have one Abu Aku, again, a Link 4 Fiend that is actually really good in this deck. A lot of people don't like her. I think the fact that you can just reborn stuff like SP, stuff like the Grapha Fusion, stuff like Gen and Ken, it has very useful utility. Sadly, it doesn't discard for cost like I thought. It does discard for cost, unlike I thought. I thought it discarded for effect. It doesn't do that. It discards for cost, which is annoying. But you can destroy a card or reborn a Light or Dark. It's very versatile, and it gives you extra draws during the standby phase. We play one Nightmare Unicorn. Again, all the Nightmare cards discard for cost, which is unfortunate, but you can just generate so much hand advantage, it doesn't matter. Takes 2+ monsters with different names, and if Link Summon, discard a card, target a card in the field, return it to the deck. This is relevant because, again, you give your opponent a lot of monsters, and you want to leave them with ideally no monsters because you don't want them to have 2 monsters for Fiendsmith combo, if that's still relevant. But just not giving them any monsters is just the better play. And Nightmare Unicorn helps with that as well. And you can have him like co-linked for some really cool... You can actually do a U-link in this deck if you co-link properly. And Nightmare Unicorn is part of that. So really like Nightmare Unicorn. 1 SP Little Knight. This is just standard for decks that play links. You can just SP stuff away. It's also really good for the U-link because it points left and right. We have the Muckracker. This is like more generic Fiend stuff. Just 2 effects. Discard a card for effect and reborn a Fiend from the grave while triggering Dark World. It does Fiend lock you for the rest of the turn, but by the point you do it, you don't really mind. We have 1 Cross Sheep, just because you can summon your Dark World Fusion underneath Cross Sheep and get a free reborn for level 4. Nightmare Cerberus and Phoenix, again, to facilitate the U-Link, and also because they are fiends that can pop back row and monsters. 1 Akashic Magician. This is really good for the hand loop because you'll always summon your Ceruli and a monster here, summon Akashic, bounce both to your hand, and then go again. So Akashic really allows for those hand loops. 1 Grapha Fusion. You only need 1, and extra deck space is kind of tight. Why do you only need 1? You can make it during your combo, link it away, and then with Mutiny in the Sky, you're going to be able to put it back into the extra deck to make it again during your opponent's turn. So 1 Graph is perfectly fine now. We play 1 Lucer, the Dusk's Dark. Shout out to the name Lucer, which is light in Spanish. Really like that reference. And he's alright. He's okay. He's better going second. Monster in your leftmost and rightmost monsters cannot be destroyed by card effects. And then you can target 1 card your opponent controls, send a Fiend or Fairy from the deck to the grave, destroy that card. So you get like a Foolish while destroying a card. And if another card you control is destroyed by card effect, you can target a card on the field and destroy it. It's good. Going second, it's good because you can always dump the Diabolica and get a free pop. So it's really nice. 1 Aerial Eater. Can make this with the Mutiny in the Sky and dump again any Fiend from your deck to the grave, usually Diabolica. 1 Millennium Eyes Restrict. This is another way to answer Droll. They activate Droll, you chain Millennium, it equips Droll to this card and it negates its effects. 1 the Zombie Vampire. Guys were crucifying me for not playing this, for playing stuff like the Coach King or stuff like the Zombie Stein over it. Yes, you make Zombie Vampire, you get a free reborn. Can fish for Lanciers as well from your deck and your opponent's deck if you're playing against stuff like Malice. It's just a fantastic card. We have 1 Hope Harbinger for a spell negate on a rank 8 body. And of course we have the number 60 Dugaris the Timeless. Not only is a fiend, but he draws you 2 cards and discards 1 for an effect. So that is the end of this Dark World deck profile. Make sure you join this month's giveaway, as I should have said in the intro. Hope you guys enjoyed my updated deck. I know a lot of you guys weren't happy with the other one. Well, you weren't happy. You gave me a lot of constructive criticism, which I have taken on board, and I've produced a even more powerful Dark World deck. So I thank you so much. Do leave all your suggestions in the comments down below, and I'll see you all in the next video.
It's time! Let's go!